A little boogie there. Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you're safe, Mel. It's Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. It's Friday afternoon, literally counting those minutes down until the weekend. Oh, dear. Now, we've got a couple of stories to talk about. One about sort of our representation in the Euros and maybe some issues with injuries at the moment. We've got a player we've been linked with, unsurprisingly. Did a little bit of a roundup at lunchtime for a couple of newbies, and also talking about some outgoings, really, and the club's attitude towards those. This morning I spoke about Lewis Orford as well, another academy player we're letting to run into their last year, their contract. I just don't get it. So let's crack on like Donkey Kong and see what we can get up to. Let's start with the Euros, shall we? Obviously, England played yesterday, and there is a injury concern about Jared Bowen, who very early on in that game, or when he came on, when he was introduced in this midway through the second half, seemed to twist his ankle on basically the turf. It was actually appalling, wasn't it? Literally. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Whether... I mean, he may well be handed a start if he's fit against Slovenia, because I think they need a complete, sorting out, really. But the latest injury scare is with Thomas Souček. Obviously, he's representing Czech Republic out there as captain. And according to the assistant Czech Republic coach, Jaroslav Kostel, he opened up on the issue that Thomas is facing at the moment. He was quoted in Eurospravy.cz in the Czech Republic news outlet, saying Thomas has had discomfort in his knee for a long time. Yesterday it showed a bit during the match. However, we have a top medical team here. They can take care of him. I know Thomas from the cabin for 10 years, so if it wasn't 100%, he wouldn't go to the match. On the other hand, if I had a bet on whether he would play, I think he definitely would. He's a fighter, and we wouldn't let him down. He wouldn't let us down, rather. I mean, we'll have to see. I think they play Georgia in the next game, and whether he's selected, how he's looking at it. But it does seem that he has a knee injury. It's a risk, isn't it? Because you never know what happens. The chances are he might. We don't know how he's going to feature in the side next year. Whether he may even be moved on, maybe after the Euros, potentially. Does he really fit into a Lopetegui system? Not particularly, but, we'll see what happens. But it's not great that he's got an injury, and he could well be playing through it when they play Georgia. Is it today? I think it's today they play Georgia. So, and similarly with Jared Bowen for the return for the Slovenia game next Tuesday, to see whether any fallout comes out from that ankle injury. Let's talk about a potential coming in person. That seems, and we're staying with the Euros actually, and we're actually going to be staying with Slovenia. Obviously, we place, in terms of in terms of the players we've been linked to. So apparently, Aston Villa, and Liverpool are keen on securing the services of Slovakian. My apologies, Slovakian defender David Hancko. According to several news outlets yesterday, it was reported that Atletico Madrid apparently meant to be front runners to sign him and are in the most advanced talks with him, according to sources. And obviously, Atletico Madrid are one of the sides looking at Figueres, so he could well be a alternative to that. Any deal to sign a 25-year-old centre-half will be worth around 25 million quid. And Liverpool are not expected to make an imminent offer for the centre-back, despite obviously him playing under Arne Slot last season for Feyenoord. Now, what's quite interesting about David is he has been playing in the Eredivisie, and it's an area that we've been looking at. Obviously last year we brought in the likes of Kudus, we brought in the likes of Alvarez from the Eredivisie, several other players we were looking at. Now, for me, I think it'd be a bloody good signing. I like him. He's 25, 26, he's prime age, good quality, decent price as well. I think about 20, 25 million seems a reasonable price for him. And he's versatile. Again, it's having that versatility. He can play left centre half. He can play left back. Very similar to Jaden Osterwald from Feyenoord. Again, the same type of thing. And there's similar type of players. So it's almost like I assume there's almost like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 in terms of Stainton's targets. We don't know in what order they're in, but it's really, you can see the type of profile of the player we're trying to get. And maybe David is more of an attainable target than maybe some of the more high profile defenders. Riccardo Colafori, we were linked with, the Italian. Maybe, he's very much out there now. Obviously, Max Kilman, someone we looked at as well. The only issue now, because obviously David is playing in the Euros and he's playing to a wider stage than he does in the Eredivisie, so his value will increase if his performances shine. And so, for me, making a smart move to try and get the price done now while he's still in the Euros makes sense, because he could have a fantastic Euros and add another 10, 15 million pounds to it easily. But wait and see what happens. No deal is expected to be completed before the tournament ends, though. The least they can do is obviously get in touch with Feyenoord to see if there's some sort of deal they can do. Also, he paid for Sparta Prague, didn't he? Was it Sparta Prague he paid for? I think it was. And obviously, we know Danny Krajinski owns. He did play for Sparta, wasn't it? Yes, Sparta Prague. He moved from Sparta Prague and actually played for Fiorentina as well. Sparta Prague. He moved from them to Feyenoord in August 2022. So again, there's that connection. There's that connection with West Ham via Mr. Krajinski. And lastly, let's talk about some outs. We've spoken a bit about, Naif. We've spoken about Lewis Orford this morning. We've spoken about Emerson as well yesterday. Cheeky inquiries from Newcastle for Bowen. And there are, rumours around the potential for someone like Kudus and Alvarez to go, also Paqueta as well. But Alvarez seems not a strong rumour, but a more recent rumour. We've going to Man United potentially. But according to sources, the West Ham duo, in terms of Alvarez and Kudus, despite being linked away with a move from London Stadium, the club are confident the pair are not going to be leaving this season. Although reports suggest the Hammers are being plunged into a fight to hold on to two of their best players, sources claim they have shown calmness over the coming weeks, as there is little concern about them departing. With new head coach, Julian Lopetegui, hopeful for a more additional further additions onto the pitch, with obviously particular issues with defence and attack. Although West Ham have set their sights on drafting in further recruitment, there's been rising doubt about just how much money they have to spend. And now obviously the new challenges with Kudus going, Al Ittihad interested in him, and obviously Alvarez touted to Man United. But as we said, the club are confident of keeping them, and are confident of, clearly that makes the money we've got available isn't needed to be supplemented by those signings. It's believed, apparently, again according to reports, that West Ham are looking, a fee around 90 million for Edson Alvarez, which is way beyond the number that Man United will be looking to spend on a player in that position this summer, particularly. So, again, that's probably why they're being priced out. And West Ham hold all the cards of that, all the cards. As I said, it's we need some movement now. I think we need something to move. Obviously, we know that Nathan Trott's going in, but that's 1 in 1 out in terms of the goalkeepers. Trott going and Fodringham coming in. That'll be confirmed at the beginning of July. But still, we need something now. We had quite a high with the Luis Guilherme deal, didn't we? That came in and we were like, this is great, this is brilliant. What's next? And then it's gone a bit flat since. Obviously, the Euros has taken over some in terms of some void in that flatness, but we are still being proverbially linked with players. As I said, we're up to about 125 already, and the transfer window has only been open for 6 days. So it's about the next one, as a quote Bill Goldberg, who's next? Not your next. Who's next? Who's the next one coming through? Is it going to be? I mean, clearly the centre half is an area which, and there's several connotations in terms of the types of players we've been linked with. We've spoken about Coolman, we've spoken about California, we've spoken about Vito hasn't still gone away. Obviously, David Hancko today, and Jaden Osterwald next week. Apparently, according to reports, we're looking to fall. Why are we waiting until next week? Not doing it. I don't understand some of those discussions. But anyway, keep an eye on the channel for any of the latest news, reviews, rumours, all that type of stuff. And also check out leadsmybrand.com. All the forums, ITK stuff, all that malarkey. It's all good stuff. And hammers all over the world. Also, yesterday we had Bubbles on from Hammers United talking about the season ticket concessions issue. So go back and check that out as well. Nice to see Paul on the channel. Doesn't do a lot of these type of things. So grab him while you can. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith. Come you on.